Hey, this is Nathan with another video. Today's going to be a shorty. I just thought I thought I would share a little bit about like this space that I use in order to get my stuff done. So the job that I have is like I pretty much have carte blanche when I work, where I work, etc. Like obviously there are things that I have to tackle during the day and I have to be on the phone a lot. But mix and matching online school with online job means that I kind of can work wherever I want, and we don't have a dedicated office necessarily for the company. We do have space, so I guess that's not totally true. We have a dedicated office, but I just don't need to go there all the time. So I can kind of choose where I want. Well, as I'm doing school and as I'm working, I look for interesting places to go. Now, I've made a bunch of my videos from a co-working space that I work out of. So I have a dedicated office in a co-working space. And I go there quite a bit, although there's sort of a like don't be too loud policy in the main portion of the co-working space. Now, I'm a little too cheap to have a dedicated office. So I always use the public space, and there's that rule. I have to be on the phone a lot, especially lately. For the past like month and a half or so, I've had to be on the phone over half of my day. Well, I kind of need a new space. I've been doing a lot of work just straight up at home, but we don't really have a good space in our house. And like I have a young daughter, she's under 2 years old, so that gets a little, so I needed some other resources. Well, I have a particular coffee shop that I really love to go to, and I spend a lot of my time there and a lot of my working time there, but it can be a little frustrating, right, to feel like you need to rent the space every single day. So you go in and you pay your $2, $3 for a cup of coffee, but every single day, like that adds up pretty quick. You're spending almost $100 then again on office space, and I already have a co-working space, and like I can't, that's a whole test. So $100 that's a lot of money for just showing up so that you can have coffee. And I don't want to work there all day. I don't want to stay through lunch. And anyway, the politics of it make it a little awkward. So I've been looking around for other places. So a co-working spaces are great. You have to be aware of the policies there. Coffee shops can be fantastic. So I do a lot of work out of coffee shops. I just work at home sometimes. That works really well on occasion. But I just need to like crack down sometimes. And I have dedicated time from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning every single day is when I do school. And I need like a quiet, private space in order to get that done, to really focus. What I have discovered is you can go to local schools. You can pretty much just walk in most of the time. And so I'm actually in a private room at my local university. That we actually have a couple of local universities really, really close to me. And so I just utilize their library space. So I started doing this only just a few days ago, and it's been awesome. They have free Wi-Fi. You have to download a little thing, and then they give you Wi-Fi access for like a week or whatever. But just utilizing the free resources that schools really provide already, so that, right, because like the purpose of the school is to provide a product, and we're purchasing that product. They provide education and facilities to support that education. We are paying for that. And inevitably, like that's the point of the rising cost of education. It's not that teachers are worth so much more than they ever have been, because they're not. It's not about that education isn't more easily accessible than it ever has been, because it is. And so why is the rising cost of education happening? Well, first of all, partially because they can, because it's an ingrained cultural thing that we have to have it, but also because they have facilities like this. Like this is a private space. This is awesome. And this is just sitting here all the time. And so you can make use of it, or I can make use of it, or all these people who are here on this campus can make use of it. Well, I'm doing school, so I showed up here to take advantage of this room. And I walked up, and it's just empty, so now I'm using it. So remember that as you're on this journey, like there are lots of resources available to you, and they're being paid for, and if they're not being utilized, that is a shame. So don't don't short sell yourself on all the places that you have available or all the resources that you have available. Just like how I'm doing this whole thing now to try to get this done faster. There are a lot of resources that just aren't in the mainstream, and we have to tackle those. Like, we have to go after getting the stuff that people just don't think of right off the top of their head as being available. So in that exact same way, like, you don't need to rent office space. You can get out of your house, you can get into a space, some super comfy chairs, like right outside. There's some awesome comfy chairs right next to this beautiful view of the campus. And I spent the entire afternoon yesterday working there and doing school, and it was awesome. It is a really nice place to sit around and get stuff done. And so anyway, changing of scenery can be really important, and there's plenty of resources around. So and also, I don't actually go to school here. I just walked in. Like, that's, so, like, remember, especially if there's something near you, like a local university or an Ivy Tech or something like that, like, you can probably just walk in and sit down and do your stuff, and no one's gonna second guess that. It's totally fine. You're there to do exactly what you're supposed to be doing, that everyone on that campus is supposed to be doing. So I'm here, and I don't go to the school, but I'm gonna use the resources that they're providing, because yeah, until they kick me out. And if they do, then I'll let you know. Anyway, thanks.